Snake, try to remember some of the basics of CQC.
Not good!
I picked up a few new moves. Huh. It doesn't feel right to shoot an unarmed man. But I'll get over it.
Eva!
Rory a correctement rejoint le canal.
What do you say to one last showdown?
Yeah, all right.
What's your name?
Snake.
No. Not that name. You're not a snake, and I'm not an ocelot. We're men with names. My name is Adamska. What's yours?
John.
Very well, John. Plain name. But I won't forget it. Come on! Looks like my luck has finally changed. Till we meet again, John.
We made it.
Yeah, we sure did.
Oh no, Migs! There's no way out! What are we gonna do?
We've come too far to let them stop us now. Those things have got to be armed.
It's no use. There's no way we can outmaneuver them. They're gonna shoot us down. We were so close.
Weapon systems on. Locked on target. I got tone.
You were great, Eva.
Huh?
Thanks.
Oak 19, this is Control. Stand by for a direct order from the chairman. Oak 19, return to base immediately. Do you read me? This is a direct order from Comrade Khrushchev. Return to base immediately. Oak 19, do you copy?
Understood. Aborting mission. RTB.
Look! The Migs are turning back! Woo!
Well done, Snake.
The MiGs disengaged.
Most likely under orders from Khrushchev.
Was this his way of helping us?
Who knows? Maybe he didn't want things to get messier than they already are. Or maybe he just wanted us to owe him one. The important thing is, you made it out alive. As long as Khrushchev is with us, I don't think they'll be coming after you. It should be smooth sailing all the way to Alaska. I'm sending someone out to Galena Base to meet you.
To meet me?
The DCI and the President himself are waiting at Langley. Don't keep them waiting.
So what are you going to do now? Go back to the KGB?
What do you want me to do?
Did you ever think about coming back to America?
I can't go back. I've left America behind me.
But you saved this country.
I didn't do it alone.
And I still owe you a dinner.
Is that part of your mission too? Or is it an order? Or is it an invitation? Or a proposal? I don't take orders from anyone now. Scholars tell us that the first spy in history was the snake in the book of Genesis. In that story, it was Eve who was tempted by the snake in the Garden of Eden. But this time around, it was I who tempted the snake and got away with the forbidden fruit of knowledge. Forgive me, Snake.
Good morning, Snake. I hope you slept well. First of all,
I have to apologize. I wasn't sent by Khrushchev. I'm not a KGB spy, and I never worked for the NSA.
I'm an agent of the People's Republic of China for the General HQ 2nd Department of the People's Liberation Army. It was all a lie. I tricked you. And I'm sorry.
The philosophers still exist in China, too. You see, my mission was to find out where Volgin was hiding the philosopher's legacy and steal it. So I infiltrated his base as a KGB spy. The 2 NSA codebreakers who defected in 1960 were actually both men. The real Adam never showed up at the meeting place, saving me the trouble of having to eliminate him. I sneaked in by pretending I was Eva. And you and Sokolov and Volgin, you all believed me. The philosopher's legacy was originally held in common between the US, Soviet Union, and China. We couldn't let the Russians and the Americans take it all for themselves. The Chinese government had its eye on the legacy too. I got the film containing the legacy, and also the nuclear missile launch data from the Shagohod. 5 years ago, the Soviet Union stopped supplying us with nuclear weapons technology. Since then, China's Liandon easing, hydrogen bomb, and space rocket projects have fallen behind. But with this data, our country will be able to develop its own nukes. We'll create a deterrent force to rival those of the US and Soviet Union. Everything has gone according to plan, thanks to your help. I too am one of the philosophers. I'm an agent of the philosophers, a graduate of one of their charm schools. I was raised in a joint US-Soviet-Chinese facility to become a sleeper agent. This was before the war. Back then, they were collecting children from all over the world. As a result, I'm indistinguishable from a native-born American. So it didn't surprise me when you and Volgin couldn't tell the difference. But she knew right from the beginning. She knew because before the war, she was at one of the philosopher's schools too, as an instructor. The boss was the only one I couldn't fool. She was the only one who knew I was a fake. She told me everything. Why did she open her heart to me like that? At the time, I couldn't understand it. But now, I think I do. Snake. She wanted you to know the truth. She chose me to tell you. That's why she saved my life. I've lied to you so many times, but not this time. My orders from the government were to obtain the legacy and to eliminate everyone who knew the truth about what happened. In other words, I'm supposed to kill you. can't do it. Not because we loved each other. And not because you saved my life. But because I made a promise to the boss. And I intend to keep it. I just wanted you to know. And you have to live. Snake, listen to me. She didn't betray the United States. No. Far from it. She was a hero who died for her country. She carried out her mission knowing full well what was going to happen. Self-sacrifice. Because that was her duty.
You are above even the boss. I hereby award you the title of Big Boss. You are a true patriot.
Someone like him to handle our top secret sneaking missions for us. A man who combines the qualities of a soldier and an agent.
The boss's defection was a ruse set up by the US government. It was all a big drama staged by Washington so they could get their hands on the philosopher's legacy. And the boss was the star of the show. They planned it so that they could get the legacy that Colonel Volgin inherited and destroy the Shagohod at the same time. Only a legendary hero like the boss could have earned Volgin's trust. Finding out where the philosopher's legacy was hidden was to be her greatest mission. Everything was going according to plan. But then something happened that no one could have predicted. Colonel Volgin fired an American-made nuclear warhead at Sokolov's research facility. Khrushchev demanded that the US government provide proof that it wasn't involved. They couldn't just abort the operation to steal the legacy. So the operation itself was greatly expanded and revised. The authorities in Washington knew that in order to prove its innocence, they'd have to get rid of the boss. And that one of their own would have to do the job. The public couldn't be allowed to find out about it. Not ever. This, they concluded, would be the best way to keep the whole thing under wraps. The boss wouldn't be allowed to come back home alive. And she wouldn't be allowed to kill herself. Her life would be ended by her most beloved disciple. That was the way the government wanted it. That was the mission she was given, and she had no choice but to carry it out. Her death at your hands was a duty she had to fulfill. Out of duty, she turned her back on her own comrades A lesser woman would have been crushed by such a burden. The taint of disgrace will follow her to her grave. Future generations will revile her. In America as a despicable traitor with no sense of honor. And in Russia as a monster who unleashed a nuclear catastrophe. She will go down in official history as a war criminal. And no one will ever understand her. That was her final mission. And like a true soldier, she saw it through to the end. But I think she wanted you, of all people, to know the truth. She wanted to live on in your memory. Not as a soldier, but as a woman. But she was forbidden to tell you herself. And that's why she told me. Snake, history will never know what she did. No one will ever learn the truth. Her story, her debriefing, will endure only in your heart. Everything she did for her country. She sacrificed her life and her honor for her native land. She was a real hero. She was a true patriot.
L. https://www.youtube.com/christophe92110 abonnés, partagez, like, commentez, SVP, merci. Angelo.
Léon Ménard, ça sert à rien de venir, c'est pour repartir. Capitaine Flamme, Capitaine Crochet, Lamborghini épée, Françoise Muscat, Hugues Ménard. Hugues et Françoise Musquet, ils ont dit quoi? À Léon Ménard, range ta chambre, fais la vaisselle, débarrasse, mette la table. Ta chambre, c'est le bordel, Léon. Tu laisses tes chaussettes puent. Tu laisses tes boxers qui puent traîner tous. Ça sert à rien de venir, c'est pour repartir. Christophe 9210 sur YouTube. Léon Ménard, Hugues Ménard, Françoise Muscat, Déborah.
Amis DSPS 110 rouge disque bleu. https://www.youtube.com/christophe92110 abonnés, partagez, like, commentez, SVP, merci. Disque rouge disque bleu live faites ta dièse pub. Venez dièse PS4 dièse Christophe 92110 dièse gamine dièse ami dièse PS5 disque rouge disque bleu. Angélique. La trance. Disque rouge disque bleu live faites ta dièse pub. Venez dièse PS4 dièse Christophe 92110 dièse gamine dièse ami dièse PS5 disque rouge disque bleu. Merci pour les likes et les abonnes. Disque rouge disque bleu live faites ta dièse pub. Venez dièse PS4 dièse Christophe 92110 dièse gamine dièse ami dièse PS5 disque rouge disque bleu.
We've got him by the balls. It should make a valuable trump card in future negotiations.
Disque rouge disque bleu live faites ta dièse pub. Venez dièse PS4 dièse Christophe 92110 dièse gamine dièse ami dièse PS5 disque rouge disque bleu.
Yes, it's me. The boss has accomplished her mission. The philosopher's legacy is now safely with us, in America's hands. With this money, yes, the philosophers can finally be revived. The film we handed the Chinese was a fake. Peking must be in an uproar right about now. I'm afraid so. Only half the money has made it back to the United States. The KGB must still have part of the legacy. Yes, the weapon has been reduced to ashes. That's right. Groznygrad has been obliterated by the Davy Crockett we brought in as well. Yes, that was the boss's work too. Speaking of which, I've obtained something from Granin that you might find interesting. It's a revolutionary new nuclear attack system. Perhaps it might just come in handy someday. Yes, we have Snake to thank for that. Khrushchev believed it as well. Yes, they bought our story. I don't think they'll be making a fuss. The secondary alert has been lifted as well. And the Soviets still haven't discovered my true identity. They have no idea that I've been triple-crossing them. I will continue my activities as a contact for the new government. Yes, it appears that no one knew that I was Adam. Of course, I am always at the CIA's disposal, Mr. Director.
Disque rouge, disque bleu, live fête ta dièse pub, venez dièse PS4 dièse Christophe 92 110 dièse gamine dièse ami dièse PS5 disque rouge, disque bleu. Disque rouge, disque bleu, live fête ta dièse pub, venez dièse PS4 dièse Christophe 92 110 dièse gamine dièse ami dièse PS5 disque rouge, disque bleu.
This marked the beginning of the era called the Cold War.
Disque rouge, disque bleu, live fête ta dièse pub, venez dièse PS4 dièse Christophe 92 110 dièse gamine dièse ami dièse PS5 disque rouge, disque bleu. Bonjour Christophe 92 110, abonnez-vous, partagez, like, commentez, SVP, merci. Disque rouge, disque bleu, live fête ta dièse pub, venez dièse PS4 dièse Christophe 92 110 dièse gamine dièse ami dièse PS5 disque rouge, disque bleu. Merci pour les likes et les abonnés.
Flying over Pakistan, altitude 30,000 feet.
Approaching Soviet airspace.
20 minutes to drop off.
Commencing internal depressurization. Equipment check. Arm main parachute.
All right. You ready to go?
Drop zone still showing a high pressure mass. Cav okay.
Good. We've got high visibility.
Put out that cigar. Connecting oxygen hose to interior connector. Put on your mask. Does this panty waste know what he's doing?
Approaching release point.
10 minutes to drop off.
Hey, are you deaf?
He said put out the cigar and put on your mask.
Depressurization complete.
Checking oxygen supply.
6 minutes to drop off. Opening rear hatch.
Sunrise.
External temperature minus 46 degrees Celsius. 2 minutes to drop off. Stand up.
You'll be falling at 130 miles per hour. Try not to get frostbite from the wind chill.
1 minute to drop off. Move to the rear.
Activate bailout bottle.
This is one for the history books. The world's first halo jump.
10 seconds to drop off. Stand by. Status okay. All green.
Prepare for drop-off. Countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Spread your wings
And fly. God be with you.
Jack, I've got some important news. The head of the CIA has finally given us the green light for the virtuous mission.
Virtual mission?
No, the virtuous mission. The future of our Fox unit depends on it. If it succeeds, we'll be officially organized into a unit.
Virtuous mission? Sounds like some kind of initiation ritual.
You know, don't get cocky. This isn't a training op.
Right. So what exactly is this wonderful mission?
Well, about 2 years ago, a certain Soviet scientist requested asylum in the West through one of our moles. His name is Nikolai Stepanovich.
Venez dièse PS4 dièse Christophe 92110 dièse gaming dièse ami dièse PS5 disque rouge disque bleu.
And the East's foremost expert on weapons development.
Sokolov. Isn't he that famous rocket scientist?
The very
Disque rouge
same.
disque bleu live fête dièse pub. Venez dièse PS4 dièse Christophe 92110 dièse gaming dièse ami dièse PS5 disque rouge disque bleu.
Earth was blue, but there was no God.
Well spoken. The rocket that carried
Disque
Yuri
rouge
Gagarin
disque bleu
to
live
orbit
fête dièse
was the
pub.
A1.
Venez dièse PS4 dièse Christophe 92110 dièse gaming dièse ami dièse PS5 disque rouge disque bleu. https www.youtube.com /Christophe 92110 abonnés partagez like commentez svp merci.
From a lowly
Disque
technician to
rouge
head of
disque
design
bleu live
bureau,
fête dièse
that's quite
pub.
a success
Venez
story,
dièse
so why do you
PS4
want to
dièse
vet?
Christophe
It seems he'd become
92110
afraid
dièse
of his
gaming
own
dièse ami dièse PS5 disque rouge disque bleu.
Call it a crisis of conscience.
And for that, he left his country and his family behind and went over
Bonjour Christophe 92110 abonnez-vous partagez like commentez svp merci.
Safely to the west. We used a mole to get the family out first and succeeded in sneaking Sokolov over the Berlin Wall shortly afterwards. I was the one who conducted the operation.
The security on the eastern side was still full of holes back then. Then what?
We got Sokolov over in one piece, but the whole ordeal had left him exhausted, and we checked him into a hospital in West Berlin. It took him 2 weeks and more than 600 miles to get from the research facility in the Soviet Union to Berlin. He was in no condition to say anything coherent. And it was only a week later that we had something much bigger on our hands.
The Cuban Missile Crisis.
October the 16th, 1962, President Kennedy received word that the Soviets were in the process of deploying intermediate-range ballistic missiles in Cuba. The President demanded that the Soviets dismantle and remove the missiles. At the same time, he announced a naval blockade to prevent further missile shipments from reaching Cuba. But the Soviets didn't back down, instead placing their armed forces on secondary alert. Soviet transport ships carrying missiles continued on course towards Cuba. US and Soviet forces went on alert for an all-out nuclear war. Frantic negotiations were conducted through the UN's Emergency Security Council and unofficial channels to end the hair-trigger standoff. Finally, on October the 28th, the Soviet Union agreed to remove its missiles from Cuba. and so the world avoided a nuclear holocaust. But in order to get the Soviets to pull their missiles out, we had to make a deal.
You mean the one where the US agreed to remove its IRBMs from Turkey?
No. The Jupiter IRBMs deployed in Turkey were obsolete, and we were going to get rid of them anyway. They had no strategic value whatsoever to either the US or the Russians. The Turkey deal was a ruse, a cover story that was fed to the other intelligence agencies around the world.
So what did the Russians really want?
Sokolov. They wanted us to return Sokolov.
You mean the Soviets pulled out of Cuba just to get their hands on Sokolov?
That's right.
What the hell was he working on?
At the time, we had no idea. We were running out of time. It was either give up Sokolov or risk full-scale nuclear war. In the end, we had no choice. President Kennedy gave in to Khrushchev's demand. The next day, I got Sokolov out of the hospital, handing him over to agents on the eastern side. Sokolov kept on screaming, "Save me," until he disappeared from my sight. Then, a month ago, we received some new information from one of our moles.
About Sokolov?
Yes. He was taken back to the research facility and forced to continue working on the weapon in question under KGB supervision. What's more, it's on the verge of completion.
So what kind of weapon is it? Something to do with space rockets?
No, missiles.
Same technology.
I guess you're right. We don't know the details, but it appears to be a new kind of nuclear device. For half a year now, the Soviets have been conducting frequent nuclear tests at Semipalatinsk.
Something to do with the weapon, I assume.
We're talking about a secret weapon so big that Khrushchev was ready to pull out of Cuba to get it back.
Is Sokolov still in the facility?
No. According to our intelligence, he's in Selinoyarsk, a place in the mountains about 3 miles to the west that's known as the Virgin Cliffs.
The Virgin Cliffs. Nice name for a virtuous mission.
They moved him there just recently.
Why?
Apparently, they're conducting a field test of the weapon, but it's our best chance to get him back. This mission would never have been possible if he was still in the research facility.
Disque rouge, disque bleu, live fête, ta dièse pub. Venez dièse PS4 dièse Christophe 92 110 dièse gamine dièse ami dièse PS5 disque rouge, disque bleu. Disque bleu, live fête, ta dièse pub. Venez dièse PS4 dièse Christophe 92 110 dièse gamine dièse ami dièse PS5 disque rouge, disque bleu. Bonjour Christophe 92 110, abonnez-vous, partagez, like, commentez, SVP, merci.
Listen up, Jack.
Disque rouge, disque bleu, live fête, ta dièse pub. Venez dièse PS4 dièse Christophe 92 110 dièse gamine dièse ami dièse PS5 disque rouge, disque bleu.
If we don't get Sokolov back before that weapon is complete, we'll be facing a major crisis.
Disque rouge, disque bleu, live fête, ta dièse pub. Venez dièse PS4 dièse Christophe 92 110 dièse gamine dièse ami dièse PS5 disque rouge, disque bleu. Merci pour les likes et les abonnés.
The rescue of Sokolov, stand by at the recovery point. A recovery balloon will be dropped at that point. Helium will be pumped into the balloon to inflate it. The process takes about 20 minutes. Once it's complete, a gunship's arm will latch onto the balloon and pull it up.
The Fulton surface-to-air recovery system.
Disque bleu, live fête, ta dièse pub. Venez dièse PS4 dièse Christophe 92 110 dièse gamine dièse ami dièse PS5 disque rouge, disque bleu.
The shock will be less than during a parachute jump, and the arm can handle up to 500 pounds.
So you're planning on going over the border in a single combat Talon?
She's equipped with 2 6-barrel 20mm Vulcan cannons, as well as 2 40mm machine guns.
Sounds like she could hold her own against a battalion of tanks.
Even with the fuel in the reserve tank, we're facing a 4-hour time limit. If all goes well, it shouldn't take more than a few hours.
Home in time for dinner.
But if anything goes wrong, you'll be eating dinner, breakfast, and all the rest of your meals in the jungle.
Do you copy? You're already in enemy territory, and somebody might be listening in. From here on out, we'll be using code names to refer to each other. Your code name for this mission will be Naked Snake. I'll be referring to you as Snake from now on. You're not to mention your real name.
Snake?
Oh, you don't like snakes?
What do you mean?
You've eaten one before, haven't you?
In survival training.
I'm glad to hear that.
I don't know if I'd ever order one in a restaurant, but...
Be careful, you might not have a choice.
What about you, Major? What should I call you?
Let's see. I'll be Tom. Call me Major Tom. This will be a sneaking mission. You must not be seen by the enemy. You must leave no trace of your presence. Is that clear? This kind of infiltration is the Fox unit's speciality. In other words, weapons and equipment are procured on site. That goes for food as well. You're completely naked, just as your name implies.
Disque rouge, disque bleu, live fête, dièse pub. Venez dièse PS4 dièse Christophe 92110 dièse gamine dièse ami dièse PS5 disque rouge, disque bleu.
I'll tell you later when the time is right.
Gotcha. Getting back to the subject.
Disque rouge, disque bleu, live fête, dièse pub. Venez dièse PS4 dièse Christophe 92110 dièse gamine dièse ami dièse PS5 disque rouge, disque bleu.
Yeah, about the backpack. I lost it in a tree on the way down.
Disque rouge, disque bleu, live fête, dièse pub. Venez dièse PS4 dièse Christophe 92110 dièse gamine dièse ami dièse PS5 disque rouge, disque bleu. https://www.youtube.com/ Christophe 92110 abonnés, partagez, like, commentez, SVP, merci. Disque rouge, disque bleu, live fête, dièse pub. Venez dièse PS4 dièse Christophe 92110 dièse gamine dièse ami dièse PS5 disque rouge, disque bleu. Bonjour Christophe 92110, abonnez-vous, partagez, like, commentez, SVP, merci. Disque rouge, disque bleu, live, fête, ta dièse pub, venez dièse PS4 dièse Christophe 92110 dièse gaming dièse ami dièse PS5 disque rouge, disque bleu. Disque rouge, disque bleu, live, fête, ta dièse pub, venez dièse PS4 dièse Christophe 92110 dièse gaming dièse ami dièse PS5 disque rouge, disque bleu. Disque rouge, disque bleu, live, fête, ta dièse pub, venez dièse PS4 dièse Christophe 92110 dièse gaming dièse ami dièse PS5 disque rouge, disque bleu. Bonjour Christophe 92110, abonnez-vous, partagez, like, commentez, SVP, merci. Disque rouge, disque bleu, live, fête, ta dièse pub, venez dièse PS4 dièse Christophe 92110 dièse gaming dièse ami dièse PS5 disque rouge, disque bleu. Merci pour les likes et les abonnes. Disque rouge, disque bleu, live fête ta dièse pub. Venez dièse PS4 dièse Christophe 92 110 dièse gaming dièse ami dièse PS5 disque rouge, disque bleu. Disque rouge, disque bleu, live fête ta dièse pub. Venez dièse PS4 dièse Christophe 92 110 dièse gaming dièse ami dièse PS5 disque rouge, disque bleu. Disque rouge, disque bleu, live fête ta dièse pub. Venez dièse PS4 dièse Christophe 92 110. Disque rouge, disque bleu, live fête ta dièse pub. Venez dièse PS4 dièse Christophe 92 110 dièse